emotional intelligence is relevant everywhere, because it's in emotional intelligence concept is the fact that how you understand your emotions, how you use your emotion, how you manage your emotion, and how you understand and manage the emotions of others is important to our well-being as social beings and emotional beings. It's important for you to understand people when you seek to understand the non-verbal cues, and also read the moods. We are human beings. I mean, none of us can be encouraged to be moody, but there will be certain days that you will feel like you've woken out of the wrong side of the bed and you feel in a particular way. When you see another human being, your child, your spouse, your friends, and you feel like they are in a particular environment, when you look at them, respect them and choose which topics and issues to discuss with them when they are in such circumstances. Hello and welcome to Expansion Revolution Nuggets. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is OJ Matiba and I'm excited to be your host this morning. I'm dealing with a very important subject, strategies for effective relationships. I think it is important because all of us need relationship for us to be able to enjoy our lives and to be able to drive to the destiny that God has given to us. I think most of the time we take relationship lightly and we miss more because the lot that God wants to do in our lives entail all people that God has placed in our life functioning at their best, and we also functioning at our highest best to give them all that they need as they give us all that we need. Relationship works on the law of exchange. You give out certain things and people give certain things in, and that makes it functional. So I hope this program is impacting you, and remember what I've said, that you can give us feedback at oj@ojmatiba.com. It's important to know what you think about our products. So today I'm dealing with a very important strategy called emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is a very common word today, and it's now a very common topic at the workplace. I hope if you are working somewhere, they might have already run you through a workshop on emotional intelligence, because it's such a buzzword in the corporate world, in the world of work. But I want to argue that it is not only in the world of work. Emotional intelligence is relevant everywhere, because it's in emotional intelligence concept is the fact that how you understand your emotions, how you use your emotion, how you manage your emotion, and how you understand and manage the emotions of others is important to our well-being as social beings and emotional beings. So the concept of emotional intelligence, in short, is understand your own emotions and seek to understand other people's emotion, because as human beings, one of the aspects of our being that comes out of our soul is the emotions. And as much as the mind, which represents the intellect, is important, the emotional being of our lives also contributes to how we react, think, and interpret things around our lives. Therefore, developing an understanding of your own emotions and seeking to understand other people's emotions before you judge them, reject them, and condemn them or love them, it's important. So emotional intelligence is a very important concept everywhere. I know nowadays it's being preached at the world of work, but I want to argue it is relevant everywhere. It is relevant in the church, it is relevant at the workplace, it is relevant at home, it is relevant in the relationship. Yeah, I have taught on this subject at the professional world of work and taught professionals how, in terms of building up teams, and why that is important to understand the emotions of other people and to be self-aware of your own emotions and your own triggers, so that you know how to control them, and you know when when you are getting arousal that becomes negative to the affairs that you are dealing with other people. So understand, self-awareness is a very key broad topic in dealing with emotional intelligence. But my argument in this session is, if you want to build long-lasting relationships, you need to take time to pay attention to yourself. Know your own emotions, especially the emotions that get triggered sometimes when you are interacting with people. Know yourself, and how when you feel like, you know what, I know this emotion normally drives me this way, and when I'm being pushed into this environment, I'm likely to respond this way. Be able to read that, and also be able to read other people's emotion, so that you don't just bombard them with issues without learning to ask yourself what they might be going on in their life. When we choose to apply skills of emotional intelligence, we choose to read even the non-verbal cues that people display when they speak, when they walk, when they do things, because everything that human beings do, it's communicating. It is sending insinuations and messages that if we are ready to understand such well, then we can build effective relationship with people. When was the last time you chose to understand your friend before you judge them? When was the last time you chose to understand the posture and the place of your spouse before you took a decision to judge them, resent them, and condemn them? Most of the time in our relationship, we fail to react well to people and respond to their needs, because once we hear words that triggers certain meanings in our brains, which may not necessarily be the meanings that the other person is communicating, we shut our brains, we shut our minds, and we reject those people. Not because they are communicating what is wrong from their point of view, but because our interpretation of what they are communicating in our worldview is not in alignment with what they are saying. So choosing to have emotional intelligence allows you to understand your own emotions before you interact with other people, and never to allow your own emotions to also cloud your mind and cause you to overreact without understanding issues. So if there is an element you need to learn in your life and seek to improve, is emotional intelligence. And I can give you tips. Simple ways you can improve your emotional intelligence. One, learn to listen. Learn to listen. It helps you. It will take a lot of conflicts away when we choose to listen, and we listen empathetically. We listen not seeking to get what we want, but seeking to understand what the speaker is saying. Learn to read non-verbal cues of people in your life. It's important for you to understand people when you seek to understand the non-verbal cues. And also read the moods. We are human beings. None of us can be encouraged to be moody, but there will be certain days that you will feel like you've woken out of the wrong side of the bed and you feel in a particular way. When you see another human being, your child, your spouse, your friends, and you feel like they are in a particular environment, when you look at them, respect them and choose which topics and issues to discuss with them when they are in such circumstances. Somebody have just gone through grief. Read that. Somebody have just gone through a honeymoon. Read that. You can't talk to these people the same thing. Be able to send the energy that aligns to the emotional state that the other person is in without condemning them. I think this is powerful. When we build our relationship on understanding other people and understanding our own emotions without judging others and rejecting them and pushing them into a corner where they feel bad about themselves, we would be able to build relationships that God have designed we should enjoy. So choose to learn simple things. Learn to listen, learn to be empathetic, and learn to understand your own triggers, and choose to either withdraw or to either be quiet or to either not engage, so that you protect yourself from damaging a relationship that God wants to use you to go far. When was the last time you were intentional about withdrawing from a conflict? When was the last time you were intentional about pulling off from a trigger that you know, if you set it up, it is going to be a long conflict for you, your wife, and your children, or your colleagues at work? We can choose to make life simple when we read the emotions of other people and always strive for peace rather than to light up the fire. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helps you. Remember, you have feedback email at oj@ ojmathiba.com. Please give us feedback and make sure that you like and you share this podcast so that it can help other people. That's what we do here at Real God, Real People. We help other people connect with others and above all, connect with God. Thank you for joining us. Let's see you next time.